project of creating a Google Lit trip using Google Maps. You'll be creating a My Trips where you will drop a pin of yourself on location in a particular spot of a California writer. So here we are as a sample video. I'm right here in Cannery Row, where John Steinbeck's book, the same name, Cannery Row, was written in 1945. Steinbeck was born in 1902. He dropped out of Stanford in 1925 and was considered a writer of the area, though also rejected by the people of Salinas. I think you'll see why. I bring you a passage from Cannery Row. Cannery Row in Monterey in California is a poem, a stink, a grating noise, a quality of light, a tone, a habit, a nostalgia, a dream. Cannery Row is the gathered and scattered tin and iron and rust and splintered wood, chipped pavement and weedy lots, junk heaps, sardine canneries of corrugated iron, honky-tonks, restaurants and whorehouses, and little crowded groceries and laboratories and flop houses. Its inhabitants are, as the man once said, whores, pimps, gamblers, and sons of bitches, by which he meant everybody. Had the man looked through another people, he might have said saints and angels and martyrs and holy men, and he would have meant the same thing. I think you see from this passage why Steinbeck was so controversial in his hometown of Salinas, but we'll leave that for another lesson. I want to remind you for your Google Lit trip that you are creating in Google Maps that you need to find 5 locations that are used by California authors in their writing, and either make a screencast of video pictures that you find on the internet and put the link of it into that Google map, or actually go on location if you can and do a little short video, which you put the link from YouTube into the description of that pin. So we'll talk more how to do this in our next class, but I thought I would just give a little sample on location in Cannery Row, Monterey Bay, for the author. Steinbeck wrote vignettes of the characters who lived in this part of Monterey and examined in great detail with categories and catalogs the many things that they studied, the samples of biological specimens they collected, and his attention to verity and detail of description of location is a worthy example in this expository reading and writing class. For our nonfiction works in this unit, we'll look at the work of Naomi Leonard, a professor at Princeton University in the Department of Mechanical Engineering, who studies the schooling patterns of fish, the flocking habits of birds, and writes about it in a compelling way to show the algorithms used by these animals to distance themselves from each other, to lead a group in a schooling pattern, to maximize their survival rate. And also, we will look at her collaboration with a dance professor to try to see how artistic movement studies, for example, modern dance, can learn from these habits utilized by fish species, bird species, insect species, and in fact, all animals.